Hey y'all, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Long time no see. If you can't tell already from my voice, it's been a season of sickness around here. I hope that you guys are doing amazing. Last I saw you guys, it was the day before New Year's. So it was New Year's Eve. I filmed a video and then I just uploaded it maybe a couple of days ago. I did film a cash stuffing after that, but my voice and everything was like such a hot mess that I'm not even going to upload that cash stuffing, and that takes a lot from me. It takes like a pretty bad video for me to just go, film it, edit it, upload it, and then be like, nah, nobody wants to see that. So hi, hello, and welcome. If you are new here, my name is Jordan. We love talking about my budget. Specifically, we do cash budget on this channel. I have been sick, hence the long intro. So I have been MIA. It's the middle of January. And honestly, for the first few days of the year, I was just really wrapped up in some planning. I have a fun trip coming up in March that I'm going to talk about in this video as we talk about my personal overview of expenses. But I spent the first few days of the year completely fine, just really wrapped up and excited about a trip and kind of went off on a side mission, got a little distracted, wasn't around here. The last 10 days, I have been sick. I thought my oldest started it, but apparently he did not, because he is now sick. I started out sick, then my youngest got sick, then I got sick again, so maybe it was two completely different things, and now my oldest right now has a fever. So we are still in the middle of it, but I at least can speak. So I was like, you know what? I have spent the last 10 days working on basically a personal overview of my budget and then an overview of my work budget. So I thought we would just kind of come on and chat about that today. So I have had a hard time getting my budget together, specifically since we moved. But I've just kind of been plugging along, but then it seems like something pops up and I never know what my different expenses are going to be. I don't know. I just feel like I've been in a really hot mess of a stage with my expenses and my work expenses. We're going to talk about this more in a minute, but that is not near as pegged down. As you can see, my personal budget is all laid out here for the entire year, which I'm really excited about. I've never done something like this. This is a really simple template. If you want something like this, though, I'd be happy to share with you guys on the website once I have that up and running. Just let me know in the comments that you want it. But basically what I've done is I went through, while I've been sick these last 10 days, I was like, what would really be helpful for me in my budget is to stop taking it month by month and just to think about the full overview of what really takes up my money. Because if you think about it, those things that pop up that we weren't planning for, you could plan for them. Usually, now major car repairs, that's different. That's why you should have an emergency fund. There are things that truly pop up, but there are things that kind of go off your radar. For me, one of those things is soccer. I know it's going to come around. My oldest son loves soccer. I know it's going to be something that should be on my radar. And in the past, it's just oh, it's already soccer sign up season. And then I have to pay for it a couple months before I thought I did, because sign up is before the actual season starts. So it needs to be in my budget well before it's actually happening. Christmas is another example. I'm going to literally go through in this video. I hope it's not too long and boring, but I'm also hoping if I go through and talk about everything for the entire year for myself, it might jog some things for you that you need to have on your radar that you don't oftentimes. You know what I'm saying? So this is, I want to say a wish list, though it's really not. I know that putting this out there, people are going to say, you spend a lot of money on this and you spend a lot of money on that. The truth is, if the time comes and we can't afford it, we can't afford it. But this is my dream of what I want to do. I will say too, what's not on this list, let's start there. What's not on this list is my weekly money for gas and groceries, my bills. So my electric, mortgage, I don't know, those kinds of things. But can you tell it's been 2 weeks since I've been in front of a camera? I'm kind of blanking. But basically, my monthly bills, I do have monthly bills that I'm not putting on the sheet. My monthly bills, including a trampoline pass, which I think is what got us sick, but including some fun things, our monthly bills are a little under $2,000. Our weekly expenses, including fast food, groceries, toiletries, gas for the car. Those total about $1,000 per month. So those things aside, and then also this does not cover like trying to save up an emergency or fund or something. It also doesn't cover debt. To be fully transparent, I don't see myself saving a lot of an emergency fund this year because all money that I have that is extra is going towards debt this year. I'm really trying to knock it out and not just pay minimum payments on it. I did move last year, so I accrued a lot of like moving debt and stuff. Anyway, this video is going to be very long, isn't it? Basically, this doesn't cover my monthly bills, my weekly spending for like groceries, and my debt. Other than that, I think I've pretty much included it on this list. And if you feel like I'm missing something, please definitely let me know. Oh, insurance and like medical also falls under my bills, which total $2,000 a month. So that's not on here. But if you feel like I'm missing something, definitely let me know. I'm going to try to go through this more by category because I think it's going to go quicker and make more sense that way. And I did kind of color code, so hopefully it makes sense. And we will briefly touch on a work overview, though this is something I think we're going to talk about a lot more because I don't know what these expenses are as much. I've just had a harder time pegging those things down. But for my personal overview, for my expenses for 2025, let's just jump right into it. I have already written down 3 oil changes, one in January, one in April, and one in September. I recently went and got my oil changed for January. Already did this one. It was about $60. And so I have a trip planned in March and it's going to be a lot of driving. So I went ahead and scheduled that next oil change for April and then September because I think around October or November I'm going to take a trip. So I scheduled one for September. I think we're going to be able to get away with no oil change in the last quarter of the year because we're going to do this again for January. We'll just at the start of the year get a Q1 oil change. My other thought in doing this is that I do think there's going to be some things that move around. There's going to be some things that need to get added and it's going to total more than what I'm thinking. Like this is just a starting spot. I think it's going to help me though to add in things and just to have this on my radar even for next year. So next year I'll be able to say, oh yeah, I do like to get an oil change at the start of the year. Otherwise, what happens to me is like oil changes will completely fall off the radar or I'll be like, oh, next month I can do that. But next month has its own committed expenses. And so I need to do what is committed for January because next month is going to have a whole new thing. Otherwise, some big things like new glasses for myself, like a dentist appointment, some of those things fall off the radar. So anyway, yellow here is basically like stuff with the car. So I just have the 3 oil changes and then I am getting my Iowa driver's license and title in February. I finally set those appointments and they take so long to get into. So I'm guessing that's going to be about $300 in February, though I don't really know, but those appointments are set as soon as I could get them. I got them. It's later than it should be, but if all this goes to plan, then say like next year, I'll know it's on my radar in February to get my tag renewed. So like it shouldn't be $300 like it will be this year because I won't need a new driver's license and everything, but I'll kind of have it on my radar. Oh yeah, driver's license and title, that's stuff that I check on and make sure it's up to date in February. So those are kind of my car things going on. I have in this, I don't know what color this is. This like greenish color is some things to do with the boys and more like sports. Sports here are so expensive and I took the price for granted in Mississippi. Y'all, in Mississippi, I want to say I paid $90 for the soccer season, and soccer season there was just one season. It was all through the fall and the winter was soccer. And it lasted for like 6 months. It was $90. You stayed on the same team. It was just so simple. Here, my one son plays soccer, and for the spring season, it's over $200. For the fall season, it's over $200. And then if he wants to do like a winter like training session, which I know he's going to want to, it's another $200. So soccer here is $600, and that doesn't even count the uniform, which I also have to pay for. And soccer seasons here are like, I don't know, 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something. Like they're probably 6 weeks. They're very short. And so it doesn't at all feel worth it, especially what we were getting in Mississippi, we had such great experiences with sports in Mississippi, and here it's been kind of a mess. But I went ahead and put it on my radar because I know it's important to him. And in January, I already paid for the spring soccer season of $210. And I haven't bought the uniform yet, but I think it's going to be about $80. My hope is if I buy the uniform a little bit big, hopefully it will last him through the spring and the fall season. And then I don't have to buy it twice a year. We'll see. The only thing on here that's not soccer, let's see. Oh, I have a soccer question mark here for $50. That is for, there's a cheap little like 2-week training in the summer, I think, that I went ahead and put on my radar for him. So basically that color is all soccer, except for in March, there is sign up for summer camps. That's another thing for my new area, or I should really just say it's different. It did take me a while. To be honest, if you're moving somewhere new and you feel overwhelmed, it's not just you. It's it's the fact that places do things differently. And I think that has definitely contributed to my just feeling like disheveled and out of order this last year. Because in Mississippi, for summer camps, for example, you could sign up the week of and they would have a spot for you. It was going to be affordable. Like nobody cares. Like you could kind of make decisions just like on the fly, where your kid wanted to be. Here you can't do that. If you don't sign up in March when they first open, there will be no spots left. So this $450 is just for, I think I already have written down in my planner exactly what summer camps to put them in. And it's just maybe a total of like 5 days, 2 different little camps for each of them. And it's gonna be $450, which feels so expensive. Honestly, if my kids had friends here and we were more settled here, then I don't know that I would put them in summer camps, but I'm still trying to help them find friends. Like we're still in that stage of things. So we're gonna pay the $450. And even if they don't make, some great friends out of it, at least they tried. I put them out there, so that's what those expenses are. I don't think I said yet either, but you guys have probably picked up from the sheet. Each month, my commitment is $800. I'm doing air quotes while I say $800 because I'm fully understanding that things maybe get taken off or added in if like things arise or I just don't have the money or whatever. But ideally, I'm spending $800. That's what all these things total. And I'm spending $800 every month. Then it's not like, for example, okay, $20 for Christmas in January. That's kind of the extra I had to put towards that because Christmas is going to be one of my more expensive purchases. So where there is a little bit of room, I'm just kind of making myself know, hey, you haven't spent $800 yet, so you can save for like spring vacation savings. Don't wait until it actually happens. Then every single month, I know that I have to spend or save $800, or next month, my commitment might be $1,400 and I'm not like prepared for that if I didn't save for it. Does that make sense? So that is part of my thinking there. Sorry, the light is trickling in. I'm also not extremely organized. I am still like definitely sick brained and, just doing my best over here. Okay, moving on down. We're going to keep going through January because then I can kind of bounce around and show you the related stuff. But, if that's organized poorly on my part, I am sorry, but I think it's just the easiest way to do this. So the next thing I have on here for January, for example, we're going to get a Science Center pass for $130. In this blue color is other like passes or license, for example. So in February, I want to get our fishing license. Now I would be doing that. I would get our Iowa fishing license in January because I'm paying for the whole year, whether I use the whole year or not. But I'm waiting until I get my Iowa driver's license in February so I can get I can pay the local fee for a fishing license, not an out-of-state fishing license. So I think that's going to cost me about $50 for a fishing license. The other thing I want to get is an out-of-state fishing license in February. We are taking a trip in March, and for a week during that trip, or like 5 days, we will be camping out of state in this, do I tell you guys now where we're going or not? Maybe I'll just save it, but we're going out of state. So I figured I'd just get a yearly out-of-state fishing license for myself. It's going to cost about $100. And then me and the boys can go fish wherever within the state while we're camping. So another kind of, yearly commitment thing, which I don't know, this one's a little weird, is that Summer Fun Savings. This is really, it's not a membership like the other things are for the Science Center, the fishing license, the yearly out-of-state fishing license. The Summer Fun and Savings is just because we're in a new area, and I'm treating that like it's a membership, but I think we're going to be doing a lot of stuff here in the Des Moines area over the summer. I didn't want to color code it as if it were a trip. I'm just kind of treating it like it's a yearly fee that we have to do a bunch of stuff around here in the summer. So I'm saving $500 for that in April, and then I'm saving $400 for that in May. So we'll be ready for the summer. And then the only other membership that I have on here is the zoo. So we have a pass to the zoo currently, but that renews in May for $124. So I think I kind of explained that well. Basically, too, though, that puts us, when we decide next year to renew at the Science Center or not, and we renew our fishing license and stuff, I kind of intentionally put it where we are renewing memberships and doing stuff like that at the start of the year, because my boys' birthdays and then Christmas are at the end of the year. Also, schooling starts August, September. So that's kind of at the other half of the year. So I purposely stacked all of our membership stuff at the first half of the year. This light pink color is trips, more specifically. It's all trips. I started to say more specifically day trips, but I included, our big trips in this color. So in January, we are going to go skiing. That's local to us, but we are going to go do that pretty soon. I think it's going to cost about $150 because my fourth grader should get in free, and I don't expect to buy a bunch of food and snacks and stuff. We're just doing an affordable little day trip skiing for $150. Again, this is kind of a wish list, and some of this I don't really have pegged down, so I'll let you know what the actual price of that was. And then we are going to an ice festival thing in Minnesota. I'm doing that trip, also very affordable, and you guys should see that in a video, but that is this month, and it's going to be $150. The hotel it's already been paid for, but it's also free because of credit card points. The other trips, let's just keep going in order here. The other trips are skiing in February. If I don't quite have the $800 for February, I think that's the thing that's going to fall off the list of what has to get done in February. But ideally, we'll take a second ski trip in February, and then saving for our spring vacation, we're going to save ahead $150. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know I've been working on a savings binder, and I have almost $1,200 maybe saved. And so this is just saving more for that trip. And then in March is when we're actually taking the trip. And so I want to save an extra $300 this month for that trip. And that's also when we're taking it. And I think that's going to completely cover the trip. In April, I'm taking just a day trip over to Omaha. I just wrote down $50. It's literally for a day. We have a couple of cheap and free things planned. So that's in April. June, we're going to start saving for our fall vacation. My thought is that now that we are starting to get a little bit, we are not near settled here in Iowa, but my thought is just, we don't have to be 100% settled to start venturing out. And so ideally, every year I would like to do a big spring and fall trip. Summers here are so beautiful. So I don't see us traveling outside of the area. I think we're really going to soak up all there is to do here in Des Moines in the summer. So summer we're here, but we're spending a lot of money local. That's what those this pass money is. And then spring and fall, we're going out of town somewhere. Ideally, we're going south. At least that's where my brain is right now, just to kind of warm up. And then in the winter, I would like to do little local trips, be it some, maybe further away travel, but I'm thinking more snowy vacations, going on a skiing trip, maybe even going to an indoor water park. But ideally, every quarter, every season, we're taking kind of big trips, except for summer. Summer, we're spending that big trip money on local stuff. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, all of that to say, my thinking is that in June, I need to save $500. In July, I need to save $500. And then in September, I need to save $630. And then we'll take that fall trip somewhere around September, October probably. But that's what a lot of this is, just saving for that. Now, the only other thing that I kind of skipped over is this saving for the state fair in August. We did not do the state fair here in Iowa, but I know it's a big local thing that everybody does. We happened to be moving into this house. We had moved to Des Moines in like a duplex, and then we moved a little further out of town so we could get a little bit more land. We moved in August of 2024. So we were so busy. There was no way. State fair was not on my radar. I didn't want to do it, but I know this year we should go and kind of check it out. So state fair, $200. I think that should be plenty for us to do all the things. I don't know if you're local here, let me know, but I did kind of put that on our radar. Let's go back up here to January because that's all the trip related stuff. And let's talk about Christmas. I kind of used Christmas as an excuse to fill all the gaps to spend the $800. So I put $20 towards Christmas in January, $50 in February, $50 in March, $50 in April through September, it looks like. So just a little bit of a focus on Christmas. Now, Christmas money, I'm also saving for a winter trip with that money. So that's why it seems like I need so much money. We did do, which I still have here because I've been sick practically since I did it. We kind of made a budget for what we need for Christmas. Sorry if you guys can't see because of the lighting. Hopefully it's not too bad. But I made a Christmas budget of how much I need for each thing to make Christmas 2025 what I want it to be. We need about $500 for traditions, $80 for stockings, $400 for the kids' presents. You can see it here. And there's a whole video if you guys want to see it. But basically we need $2,756. I honestly don't know if that totals what this totals. But I just put Christmas a little bit on my radar. Oh, my main point of even saying that is to say, about half of the money is for a trip. It's going to be the winter trip that we'll likely take in January or February of 2026. But that money needs to be saved ahead of time so that we can do that, right? Okay, I just went ahead and moved the camera. We're just going to embrace the weird lighting. But anyway, $50 basically through September. And then in October, I put for our Christmas and winter trip, that's like all we're saving for. So the whole $800 for October is going towards Christmas. Not the whole thing, but it looks like winter soccer, like soccer training for my oldest. I need to pay for that in November. I kind of looked through the local website and when that will be paid. And I think it's going to be about November. And then $600 of November money needs to go towards Christmas or winter trip. And then in December, the full $800 again is going towards Christmas or winter trip. Okay, so I just added up Christmas. $2,620 is what this totals up if we stay on task. We need $2,750, but I actually already have some money saved in my Christmas cash budgeting. So I think it's going to actually be perfect if we're able to stick to this. Again, this is a bit more of a wish list and it feels a little bit unattainable, especially because I'm filming this at this exact moment after I haven't worked for the last 2 weeks. So my January budget is already thrown way off because if I'm not making videos and creating new things on Etsy, then I don't make the money that I need to even to pay the bills, right? So it feels a little bit unattainable right now. However, I know that I easily spent, this money, like $800 per month on like moving expenses in 2024 and on like furniture and beds and things. And I'm not doing any spending this year. Totaled in my $1,000. Okay, excuse me. Sorry. I had to take a sip of water and give my voice a little bit of a break, but I'm not sure it's much better. Totaled in my $1,000 per month for like groceries and gas and stuff for the car. I have factored in to have about $40 to $50 per week to purchase stuff on Facebook Marketplace and thrifting, which has been a new hobby of mine this year. I'd love to chat with you guys more about that, but I spend so much, and I know there's past videos, y'all, where I've shared for example, a clothing haul for my boys where I'll spend like $400 on clothes for them. It is specifically a priority to not purchase anything new except for a few Etsy shops that I do enjoy. But like Amazon, I'm not purchasing on Amazon this year. Walmart, I'm not purchasing on Walmart. So everything that's just like general needs, stuff I want for the house, new clothes for the boys, we're getting all of that secondhand on Facebook Marketplace and on like thrifting and stuff. So I think as long as I keep to that this year and keep working on like not overspending in other areas, we're going to be able to meet all of these kind of vacation goals and like different memberships and stuff. And part of the reason that I was so drawn to creating something like this is because I think if I remind myself, like, this is the goal, this is what we really want this year, then it keeps me in check with Amazon and like Walmart spending. Because I've started to spend a couple times these last couple days and I'm like, oh, I'll just I'll do kind of a large haul, but I'll count it as a spend day for me. But then I think about it and I'm like, but do I really want that for $200? Do I really want to spend that money? Or do I want to put it towards a Science Center membership? Do we want to go on a little ski trip? So this is going to help me keep my priorities in check. I'm really excited about it. If you notice that there's anything like blatantly missing, please definitely let me know, because I'd like to keep working on this and making it, as perfect as I can. I'll say too, because I enjoy making little weird goals. I did leave a little spot here at the bottom. It's $800 and then a little slash, because I want to write what it actually ends up being once little things come up. And if I say my goal, okay, my brain just completely blanked. Say my goal for January is to spend $800 on these things. If I spend more or less, I want to write what that total is. And then I'll just kind of write to the side anything that got added in. Again, because I want to make sure to keep a good track of this year. So in 2026, I know realistically what's coming up when, how much things really cost, and that sort of thing. So my goal, though, what I was going to say before I sidetrack my own self, is that my goal is to keep this under $1,000 per month. So even if other things pop up, that's okay. My goal is for 2026 for things to really be laid out, simple for myself. I know when things are happening, and hopefully each month is costing me less than $1,000. And then let's go ahead and quickly move on to my work. This is going to go so quick because, no. I started moving to work, but I left complete categories out. Okay. Everything in hot pink is eye doctor, glasses, dentist related. So my boys actually qualify for free health insurance again this year. Thank goodness. I'm so thankful for that. And I think maybe next year we won't, but it should still be a very affordable plan. It's like the CHIP version of Medicaid. Anyway, their stuff is pretty much covered this year. Thank goodness. My stuff is not, but I do have this weird, it's like $90 a month, and I can go in for any primary care related stuff or any urgent care related stuff. So I won't have any kind of, if I'm sick, like I'm sick right now, I could go to the doctor if I want. I've noticed myself getting better and like things, I haven't been concerned with this sickness, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But if I am concerned or I feel like I need medicine, I could do that and it would not have a financial impact on me, which is important to me, to pay that $90 a month and just to know there's no copay, there's nothing. If I need a primary visit, if I need a urgent care visit, it's covered. My boys are completely covered. Anyway, all that to say, I will need to pay out of pocket for an eye doctor. I'm thinking that's going to be about $140-ish. That would be in April is my plan. And then I also am going to set myself a dentist appointment in July. I budgeted $150 for that. I'll keep you guys updated on how those costs really work out. That's really what was in the budget for these couple months. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's when I need to do an eye doctor and a dentist visit, which I haven't done the last couple of years. So that's going to be great. Glasses for myself. Oh, April is eye doctor. And then I've got budget for myself to get glasses in June to get new glasses. And I budgeted $150 on that. If it's cheaper, I'm hoping I can also get contacts, which I used to love, but I have an astigmatism. So I don't know. I did not love them for a little while, but I figure maybe there will be enough money in there that if I get cheap glasses, I could try contacts again. May, I have budgeted to get Atlas glasses, and my goal is to spend $176 or less on his glasses. We have gotten him glasses before. I say we, it's me. I've gotten him glasses before for like $250. And I am not saying that I will stick to this 170 because if he goes in, this happened last time, he went in, he immediately gravitated to a pair of glasses and was like, I want those, I love those. So I got those. Like if he does that again, I'm not going to tell him no over like $100 because he has to wear those glasses every single day, you know? So ultimately he could pick whichever glasses he wants, but I did write $176 in the budget because if there's a few pair that he likes, I might try to suggest like, hey, this would be more within budget. Does it matter to you that much? Because those are $100 more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately though, I am a pushover mom, and especially with like glasses or, you know, medical things, I'm really just trying to make them happy. So and that's the budget though. The budget is 176. So all this pink is basically some medical things that aren't covered anywhere else. Okay, did I cover, what else have I missed? Oh, this orange. I think that's the only thing I haven't talked about, right? The orange here is birthday money. Same thing in the past. Birthdays kind of sneak up on me, and then I just start spending a bunch of money because I want the boys to have the best birthdays. Who doesn't? But this year I budgeted $300. In June, July, and August, I'm saving $100 each month for Atlas. So he will have a $300 budget on his birthday, be it a short overnight trip somewhere, be it he wants a bunch of presents, or if he wants some kind of little get together with friends. The budget is $300. I have easily spent $1,000 on a birthday before per kid. And so I'm happy to set a budget this year. So $300 for Atlas. In August, I'm going to save ahead. Now, and Atlas's birthday is in August. In August, I'm also going to save $240 towards Jericho's birthday. And then in September, which is his birthday month, I only need to save $60. So they both have a $300 budget, and we will do whatever they want to do or spend it however they want to spend it. But that is the overview of my personal budget, spending $800 per month on all of the things that like, quote, pop up. And we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. Now to quickly talk about work. I'm surprised I haven't lost my voice yet. So I'm thankful we are still here. But in January, this month, I need to pay 2024 taxes. I have no idea what that's going to cost me, nor do I remember how much it is to pay my tax lady, but that's going to be a huge expense this month. So the only other thing I'm doing this month for work is paying $42 for Shopify. That is where I'm working on launching up the new website. So 2024 taxes, I don't know how much it's going to cost me, but it's probably, I don't think taxes itself are going to be that much this year because I had a pretty good amount of work expenses and I made less last year than I had made. So I'm hoping I get a little bit of taxes back once you count like earned income, credit, whatever. I don't know. I have a tax lady, but like I'm hoping it all kind of balances itself out. When I first started YouTube, I basically, that's how it worked. I had a low income year because I started at the end of the year. I got a little bit of tax money back, and then I paid my tax lady with that little bit of money, and it was all kind of a wash. I don't think this year is going to go, or like 2024 taxes is going to be quite that simple. I think I'm going to owe some, but I think I might get some back to pay some of my tax lady. Or like worst case scenario, I owe my tax lady her money and a little bit of taxes, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as it could be. My goal is to do the big focus for February is to do quarterly restocks. I have never done that before, and I would love to start sharing with you guys on this channel kind of a quarterly restock, like what I purchased and what I plan on. I have been somebody who has run my business very chaotically in all of the ways, but basically, if I need more shipping stuff, if I want new products, I kind of just purchase it on a whim. I haven't had much savings for it, but I usually make the money right back. So it's not that big of a deal, like when I make new stuff. But my goal is to start having restocks every quarter. And I need to get better about planning. Okay, what am I going to need for this quarter? Because this is the only time I'm allowed to do it, right? And then in February, the only other expense would be Shopify for $42. So I'm kind of explaining this different than I did the personal. Sorry. Let me just backtrack and say quarterly restocks. Let me backtrack even more. Shopify. Shopify is an expense for me every single month. The goal is to keep it at $42, to not get any kind of new weird apps or anything, to not make that price go up. I'm hoping it stays $42 per month for Shopify. And I'm working towards making that my only reoccurring monthly expense. Taxes for 2024, my plan is this is going to be the last time I'm doing a whole year at the end, like at the start of a new year, because that's overwhelming. My tax lady recommended, I'm kind of at the point where I really should be paying quarterly taxes. So starting in March, I'm going to pay Q1 taxes, and I'm going to be paying for my tax lady to do quarterly taxes. I don't know what that looks like yet because I've never had her help me quarterly, but that's on here. So just overview wise, February, Q1 restocks. May would be Q2 restocks. Restocks in August for Q3, and then November would be Q4 restocks. I plan the restocks around like tax times. I don't want to be owing Q1 taxes on the same time I'm doing like paying for Q1 restocks. So you can see just overview wise, they kind of are on like restocks are the month before taxes, basically. Oh, this was the worst way to explain that. I hope you guys followed. But you can see there's a restock day 4 times in the year or a restock month. And the intention is just to buy any shipping related or any product related needs during that restock. Then taxes. In January, I'm doing 2024 taxes. March, I do Q1, June Q2, September Q3. And then in January 2026, I would be doing Q4 taxes and kind of end of year taxes for that quarter. So this is the only one that kind of gets thrown off. I'm not doing Q4 taxes in December. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. This is all up for rearrange, restructuring. I have no idea really how this is going to go. Just the fact that I've started to think about it shows a lot of growth on my part because my business has been a flaming hot mess since I started it. And I mean that in the best way. Like, you guys have always been supportive. I've always been able for the last few years to do this as my full-time income. I am so, so thankful. It's just real life has been so chaotic and there's so much to talk with you guys about that we definitely will in another video. But there's just been so much personal wise. And I feel like I'm finally settled in a new state. I finally, like, my kids have health insurance. We're moving towards all of the right direction of feeling settled and able to focus on work and make it a priority and make it make sense. The only things on here that I haven't mentioned, because it's not really worked out either, but currently all this stuff in pink, I pay monthly for. So I don't have it written here monthly, but in April is the month, for example, that for Apple and Adobe, I want to stop paying every single month on those. I want to pay for a full year. And I don't have the capacity to do that right now. I don't think, nor do I necessarily want everything to be due in January. So I kind of purposely thought about, like, when can I pay these things? Like in Canva, I want to switch from paying monthly to paying yearly for Canva in July. And then in December, I want to switch from, oh no, this isn't switch from actually. This is stuff I already am paying monthly for, yearly for. Microsoft, I do have a $75 yearly fee for them. And then where I host my website names, I pay $93 per year for that in December. So this one actually is already figured out. But April and July, I didn't have any other big commitments as far as thinking that's when taxes or restocks are going to be. So that's when I would like to stop paying monthly on some of these things and start paying yearly. Now, October, I do have it kind of as an open month. I don't see any big commitments here. So maybe October is when I pay for a bunch of not restocks, but like new stuff that we want for 2026. Maybe it's a new idea. Maybe it's a paper planner. You know what I'm saying? Like October is a little open at the moment, but this is something that is definitely a work in progress. If you have any opinions, thoughts, or ideas on what needs to get added to this or how it should be structured or something, please definitely feel free to share with me. But I think that is it for this video. I plan to be back very soon, but you guys know how that can be around here. I am definitely on the upswing of how I'm feeling, but literally in this very moment, I'm like, I need to go check on one of my kids before I keep working on this. I hate being away from them when they're sick. Anyway, this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this or found it informative in some way. If you did, please definitely go ahead and like this video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.